Welcome to Musician vs. Musician, a podcast/gig where every week we both research a music-related topic and then report back to the other one. Could be a band, it could be a genre, it could be whatever vague concept we find interesting. I'm Matt.
And I'm Leia.
We're both members of the band Wild Abyss. Disclaimer, our views do not reflect the views of the rest of the band. You know the drill.
As we always have to say.
Much like last week, but slightly different, we've got a guest with us. We have George, lead singer and also guitarist.
Bit mix of lead, mix of rhythm.
I was going to say, I've seen you do quite a lot of both. So. Of the band Medici, who are a local band in Nottingham. Also, wait, you guys based in Leicester, right, originally?
No, two of the members, I went to school with Yoram, who's the rhythm guitarist. He went to University of Nottingham here, so we always had really similar musical interests and stuff. We would gig quite a lot with other bands, like back in Northampton, but we were never in the same band.
Oh, fair.
Okay.
It was quite nice. It was nice that he went to the same uni, so we can chill, make a band together and stuff, and we have pretty much the same musical taste. So perfect.
I've heard you guys a few times now, two or three times.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times.
And I love listening to you guys. So
thank you, I really appreciate it.
It's a fun day.
We actually had your EP on in the car the other day.
Did you? Yeah.
Which we'll let you plug at the end.
Of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
we got some topics related to it.
Plan.
But yeah, today. What are we talking about, Leia? You're taking the reins today of topic,
we've got
right?
kind of a team effort one today for us too, and then obviously you've got your topic. Do you want to go first, or do you want us to go first?
You guys go first, yeah?
Sweet.
So we're talking about Spinal Tap. Do you know who Spinal Tap are?
I've heard of the band. I am yet to listen to them properly. No,
Spinal Tap.
I assume then you haven't seen the movie.
That's awkward.
Well, no.
We were expecting this. Spinal Tap are not a proper band. They are a parody band that spoof metal bands. Like off the bat, Spinal Tap is always it's written down, and this was noted on their website that it was supposed to be written down without a dot on the I and with an umlaut over the N, because reasons. They actually started in 1964 as a band. Because we were looking at it the other day, weren't we? Because the rockumentary, This Is Spinal Tap, was made in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going a while before that. I thought I could have read the genuine website, but to be honest, it was kind of boring. So I went for the fan page instead because I thought it was funny.
That's fair. Fucking hell, it's getting so hot already in here.
Should I open the window?
No, if we open it, the sound will get fucked.
We just suffer, is how we deal with this.
I've got to rip in my t-shirt, so I can't take my shirt off.
So it says, when I began building this site, I thought it would take a few hours of probing and hunting, gathering and collating. As with so many expectations about the heavy metal band the world has warmed up to, called Spinal Tap, I was wrong. It took hours upon hours, days upon days, beers upon cold beers. In the end, I found myself with little more understanding of the phenomenon known as tap mania, or the tap heads. Only a sickening sense that I'd wasted several months of my quickly shortening life, whose only distinction is that they play loud and their lyrics rhyme. Most significantly, perhaps, is that with each passing year, more of the taps fans are learning to read. Thus, I made a site.
So I figure you and that fucking
sorry,
thing. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
For anyone who can't hear that,
I'll do it loud
Leia
now.
taps the doorstop all the time.
I didn't know it was a doorstop until recently. I always just thought it was one of those things that people have in houses.
Was it just this second that you learned that it was a doorstop?
No, it was about a week ago, because I saw a post with a dog playing with it and they called it a doorstop, and I was like, is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Like, I've grown up with those in the house for like
funny
my life.
Story, this house didn't come with them. My dad walked around the house.
And install
my dad came around and installed them because he was like, nah, well, you're having doorstops in this house, mate.
And you're like, Dad, you don't trust me.
They're a great bit of kit.
I was thinking as well, he's going to have those little yellow telephone things that you put in the doors to stop them closing fully, so kids don't get their fingers trapped.
Right.
I was expecting him to put those around as well, like, make sure I'm taken care of.
I have a lot of faith in you in terms of...
So I thought we'd take a little break here so we can watch Stonehenge and Big Bottom Girls by Spinal Tap.
Well, it's just Big Bottoms.
Is it just Big Bottoms?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, fucking researched the topic for 10 minutes, didn't you?
No, I did more than I normally do.
Copy and paste.
I did more than I normally do, in my defence.
Well, that's fair. All right, here we go. So Stonehenge, Big Bottoms, and a couple of clips to amuse George.
Yeah.
How did everyone find that?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen one of those before. But
The amp. Everyone's seen the amp to
Yeah,
Turn it to 11.
Yeah.
We also watched the amps go up to 11 and the drummer's story.
Yeah, the drummers just keep dying horribly.
Yeah, so I've actually got how all the drummers died, because they actually had 7 fake drummers and 5 real drummers.
All right, go for it.
One of the real drummers was actually really famous. So they've got John Stumpy Peppers that died in a bizarre gardening accident. The other one's called Stumpy Joe as well.
Yeah,
like they're all from ones. Yeah. He choked on vomit that was not his own. There was Peter James Bond, actually says what his name was, that spontaneously combusted. Mick Shrimpton that exploded on stage. Joe Mama Besserer claimed he couldn't take the 4/4 shit and disappeared along with the equipment in a Japanese tour. They suspect him to either be dead or playing jazz.
I assume the 4/4 shit referring to the time signature of the songs.
As in, like, he disappeared. They think he's either disappeared to play with a jazz quartet or he died. They're not sure.
Fair.
There's Richard Shrimpton that allegedly sold his dialysis machine for drugs and he's presumed dead but not sure. Sammy Stumpy Bateman, which is the third Stumpy so far, third or fourth Stumpy. Jumped over a tank full of sharks whilst on a tricycle in a freak show and died. And then there's Scott Skippy Scuffleton, which they just didn't say. They just said he left. They just said we're unknown. We don't know he's dead.
Unknown.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Honestly, if I disappear under mysterious circumstances, I want everyone to assume that it was your doing, so we could be Spinal Tap. I was wrong. There was another one called Popper that was allegedly eaten by his pet python Cleopatra. Plus, apparently, allegedly 9 drummers that they didn't talk about. Additional ones that are all dead.
We're having a bit of a theme at the moment. Last week we did Lonely Island, and now we're doing Spinal Tap.
Yeah, I think it's the theme here is
comedy bands.
We are incapable of taking anything seriously.
Yeah. That's why we've got the guests on, so they actually have some class.
Yeah, so
I just plug my band the entire time.
Yeah. But yeah, I fucking love Spinal Tap. What else have we got to talk about with them?
They also allegedly had 4 tambourine players. I don't know. Do most bands actually employ? Because I would assume that the singer would also be playing the tambourine. But also, I've seen your sense of timing.
Arctic Monkeys, we've got the latest tour. They've had an extra tambourine player.
They've
had a percussionist alongside the main drummer.
Just a tambourine.
I would have thought the singer a lot of the time doesn't want to have to do that, right? You want to be able to focus on being the front man, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Also, I know the sense of timing you've got.
Exactly. You know,
I
admire you enough for being able to play guitar at the same time because I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. When it's overthinking it, originally when I looked at the idea about playing at the same time, I just didn't think I could do it. I think it's just practice. And it's surprising how they kind of go together really nicely. Yeah. A lot of things, like there's some complicated stuff that is ridiculously hard to play and sing at the same time, which I wish I could do. Like play more complex lead parts while singing, and plenty of musicians that I look up to do them with so well. But that's just part.
It is impressive.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to get better at being able to do that, really. So yeah. Like tambourine, I don't know.
Yeah, apparently one of the tambourine players also allegedly died. Was killed himself by overdosing on coffee creamer. So
that's an intense
I can see myself doing that.
Yeah, we've all been there, right? Exams.
It wasn't the coffee; it was the creamer.
It says specifically the creamer, not the coffee. To be honest, I'm not even really sure what that is. Is it
coffee? You don't know what it is?
No.
You know those little pots.
There's it. Okay.
Yeah. Like with the peel off top.
It's cream for coffee.
Yeah, I assume that was what it was, but
it's just like you get them in a lot of hotels and diners and things.
Yeah. They've also worked with some pretty famous people, particularly more recently in there. They've worked with Slash, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Jeff Beck, and Cher.
Because they occasionally do gigs still, right?
Yeah, so I don't think they've stopped completely.
They do like one a year or something now. Yeah. Bless them, none of them can really play or sing.
Can they not? Is that
they could at one point. I don't think they can really do it that well anymore.
They're not, so,
I mean, like Harry Shearer's like 70.
Yeah, I was going to say they started in 64, I think I said.
Yeah.
They're old now.
Yeah.
Like they still do great. Like Harry Shearer's still on The Simpsons, somewhat inexplicably. The Simpsons probably should be over.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not the... so they also talked about, because I've got some of this from an interview with, what's his name, Shears.
Harry Shearer?
Yeah, Harry Shearer. That's the one I'm after. I'm really bad with names, you know this.
You're reading off your phone.
I just didn't write his name down.
Nice.
It's all like, he did this. And it's like, oh, that was intelligent. Yeah, they've got, as a response to the song, because they've got a song called Butt Call, who was the most famous person to have ever butt called someone them, and I've put this in because I'm personally offended. He said it was Rob Brydon, English comedian. No, unacceptable.
It's a Welshman.
Rob Brydon, proud Welshman, and I will fight that to the death. Like, I'm not happy.
Rob Brydon, great hair transplant.
Yes, what a lad.
Looks amazing.
Big fan of Rob Brydon. Yeah. Also, apparently his number used to be 1 digit away from Steve Coogan's, and when they figured it out, it was a good day because it was an issue for a long time. So that's fun.
Like, you think you're calling one of the members of Spinal Tap and you're just calling Alan Partridge.
Yeah, like this is a little bit of a joke. I'm not even really sure who Steve Coogan is.
It's Alan Partridge.
Oh, it is Alan Partridge, is it?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
No, it's the same person.
Yeah, I thought Alan Partridge was like actually the person.
What media do you know about? Because neither of us know about music, as we've proven on this podcast.
I know, like, what do I know about? I'm pretty good with comedians generally, but like stupid comedians, not like actual people that do real work, like stupid things.
This is where you compliment some of the people you've just called stupid comedians.
Sorry, Rob Brydon for a start.
Yeah, he's not stupid. He's great. Rob,
he's
if you're listening.
Lad, yeah. If Rob Brydon listened to this, I'd actually lose it.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
You'd have him on, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I'd get him to get us on Would I Lie to You?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. And then
I love Would I Lie to You.
Honestly, I'd love to just have him on here so I can have someone that's noticeably more Welsh sounding than me. Because people always say I don't sound that Welsh, and then sometimes you'll go off on one, like taking the mick out of me for 45 minutes.
Well, you do sound a bit Welsh, like.
Oh. This is our recording experience was mostly made up of this.
What's
Every time
occurring?
I said something useful.
I definitely didn't notice it until like now you've mentioned it. Okay, I can really strongly hear it, and I don't think I can go away anymore. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what most people say. But yeah, I've got this, which is purely because I thought it was funny. This is a terrible review for the film.
All right. Wait, as in the review is itself bad?
No, as in
the heat's got to George. He's stripping.
strip.
Oh, ripping my t-shirt. I was hoping I wouldn't have to take the sweatshirt off.
Don't worry, man. There's a reason I'm wearing pajamas. Loose-fitting stuff for this.
That's the first time of clothing removal. We'll see how far it goes after that.
So it was. It's not as in like the review was written badly, as in the review is a really negative review.
Oh, it's a scathing review.
It's a scathing review, but it's just the way it was written made me giggle.
All right.
So it just says, I think this was in response to the film, but I'm not 100% sure. It might have just been on a whole the stuff they've done, and it just says that it was a self-indulgent bore, a maddening exercise in squandered opportunities. In addition, it had long stretches without anything remotely amusing being said or done. You get tired of Nigel, the most brainless, insipid lead guitarist in the history of British rock. The music is atrocious, so you'll spend the whole time watching This Is Spinal Tap, yawning or wishing you had earplugs. And then the comment on that was just, you can't print that really, can you? So...
What a lie. What a horrible lie they just told.
What a delightful film it is. I just think that guy personally has no sense of humour.
I mean...
Like, that or it was a joke in itself.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was amazing. I'm so into it. It's just,
you haven't... we're watching it at some point next week, right?
Yeah, that was the plan. We were going to make a bit of a day of it.
Fucking sick.
You're obsessed with it, and it turns... I don't think Andy's seen it either.
No, we're having a band movie session. watching... I was going to say watching Wild Abyss.
That would be
That's our band.
That would be tragic.
Just watch your own videos back, analyse it critically.
Sorry,
how long's the final of the film?
It's like 90 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a particularly long
It's pretty short.
Yeah.
Especially by modern standards. I won't go off on one about
about films being too long, because you did for long enough the other day. Jesus.
Yeah.
So also, which is something we discussed a few days ago, is that the actual band Spinal Tap have had basically none of the income that they've made from it due to like studio issues and with the people they signed with and whatever. Their total income from everything, merch included, from 1984 to 2006 was $81.
What?
That's the whole figure. There's no
mad.
notes on that. That's it. And from 1989 to 2006 was $98.
Fucking hell.
Like, as it was described, it was Stonehenge all over again. They expected feet and got inches.
I mean, I'm sure none of them are like wanting for cash, but that is bullshit.
Yeah, they got into quite a big lawsuit. I think I'm not sure what the resolution was though, because
what was the case of the lawsuit?
I think it was just them saying you're taking the mick a little bit, like how have we got basically no money from it? I think it was as it was described. The lawsuit goes to 11, so which is
Can you
quite
just
good,
imagine
isn't it?
the judge just sitting there making Spinal Tap jokes? Like everyone's
That
trying to
would
stay
be
serious and they're
amazing.
just making the same jokes.
Yeah, apparently it was Shearer lost his patience, and that was the big deal. They got to the 30th anniversary, and he just lost it and was like, "Why haven't we had any money from Spinal
Oh,
Tap?"
that's
So,
fair. Yeah.
as you would, like
Harry-
you'd lose it
How
for
many
that.
years they've
Like-
been doing it?
Harry Shearer, notoriously grumpy.
Yeah, apparently he's
Apparently.
really difficult to work with, isn't
Yeah,
he? He was
but,
saying. Like he's done a lot of work on The Simpsons and stuff.
Don't
And
know that for certain. Could be the nicest man alive.
Yeah.
Only saying what
I
I've
do
heard.
know that he was on The Simpsons. That's not
Yes,
debatable. He was
he's
on The
Mr.
Simpsons.
Burns.
Yeah, he's Mr. Burns, Smithers, Principal Skinner, Ned Flanders, and apparently dozens of other characters. So the more you know. Spinal Tap and The Simpsons.
Yeah. That was unexpected. I had no idea.
I know, I wouldn't make that connection at all.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I mean, I did, but I've seen the movie a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, but you're a freak. You
You're
are.
a knowledge bank.
I was shown this movie for the first time in school. Did you have like time before school started, like 20-minute registration period?
Yeah, all before registration.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they
So-
complain to you if you're late, even though it's not actually a class. or
Yeah,
anything.
but my supervisor, well, I don't remember what you call them.
Tutor. Form tutor.
My
You
form
Form
tutor.
tutor,
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
God, I've been in uni too long. My form tutor just put on movies for us
Fairs?
because he was like,
What a lad.
I don't want to talk to you guys. So,
I fully respect that.
yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Molyneux, if you're out there, hi.
Where was this going?
I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to
Were
say.
you going to say that he put on Spinal Tap?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was it. That was the whole thing.
I imagine a group full of like teenagers, like they wouldn't have really understood it. But you might have got it, obviously. But,
Like-
like if you went into music, they just think, what the fuck
Like
is this?
I was in a band at the time, so I got a few of the jokes.
Okay,
As you
yeah.
get older, though, I think I watched the second
more
time I
and more
watched
of it
it.
makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second time I watched it, I'd been gigging, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Too
So it
real.
makes sense to me now.
I've had these
Yeah.
experiences.
I also had to watch the Am Goes to 11 thing in uni, and like trying to word why he's wrong is quite difficult the first time you've seen it. Like, yeah, but like there's no unit. It's not a scale. It's just
Yeah, I
like,
know. It's just a setting.
literally just a random number. It could say bloody 12,002,002 for all it matters.
Exactly,
It doesn't,
it's
it
not-
really doesn't matter. But I think that's hilarious anyway. Yeah, that's actually about all I've got for it. We've burned through that pretty quickly.
Well, I don't know. We're coming up on the right amount of time. It's almost
we?
20 minutes. It's just
okay.
it's just Spinal Tap's just a
They're
bunch
hilarious.
of jokes, isn't
yeah,
it? So
it's all
we always
stupid.
struggle with how to actually address joke bands. You would have thought we'd have nailed it after last week. Actually, last week we did
It might
3 bands to make up for
What
it.
did you do
Yeah.
last week?
Last week I did The Lonely Island. Our guitarist Lou did Ghost, and Leia pissed me off by doing the
Right.
concept of memes.
because I did this purely to annoy him, purely because it says he's written in the thing that it could be whatever vague concept we find interesting.
Right.
So he only let me do 4 memes because I did it just because I knew he'd have to put the meme, edit the meme in
Oh.
every
So
time.
last week took me fucking
Yeah,
ages.
he didn't get any of them either.
No, I
Like
didn't
some
get
of them were really, really obvious ones. You just didn't get it.
totally over my head. Apart from the Dave Grohl Nickelback one.
Well,
But
yeah, if you didn't get that, it'd have hit you.
I don't
to be
want to. I
honest.
don't want to tell George the meme to irritate myself and put the meme in again.
Further took up more time on the podcast talking about the meme.
Good God.
Honestly, I feel like we've got our time's worth out of that just out of how much you've spent complaining about it. Because this was a
Meme-gate.
week ago and
That's
you
what we're
you
gonna
haven't
call
stopped
it.
yet.
Oh, no, I haven't stopped. Fuck no.
I regret nothing.
I do whine about it a lot to people.
Yes, you do.
I bring up how irritating it was.
I was going to say, there's few people that don't know.
I mean, I guess in terms of joke bands, we also did Crazy Frog.
I was going to say,
Very
yeah, you
briefly.
You also did Hannah Montana as a whole episode,
That's
not even
not
as a mini band.
That's not a joke
I just
band.
assumed this podcast would be like more kind of like, I don't know, rock metal oriented.
Oh.
And then
Most of mine are.
She takes that.
He takes the stupid ones, and I take
Someone
the
talked about the
actual
Cheeky
bands.
Girls.
Yeah, he
that
also did the Cheeky Girls.
And I was confused because I swear there was like 4 of them, but then they are the Spice Girls. That's the Cheeky Girls. I didn't know
No,
they were
it's-
sisters.
Ah,
two
yes, he
Romanian
made the
girls.
same mistake. Because I was like, isn't that the Spice Girls? And he
Yeah,
was like, there's 5 of the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I know,
oh,
that is
sorry.
common knowledge. So I should have known there was 5 of the Spice Girls.
Don't
like,
tell him it's
that
common
comes up on
knowledge.
Eggheads all the time. I should have been
Don't
on
tell him
that.
it's common knowledge. He thinks he's right now.
I am right. Just because 2 of you are dumb doesn't mean that I'm not right.
To be fair, I
This
didn't
is
know.
harassment.
This isn't the fact that we didn't know the Spice Girls. It's the fact we didn't know the Cheeky Girls are much well known.
I mean,
less known,
that's totally
girls.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
But
yeah.
there's 2 Cheeky Girls.
Well, I know that
Listen
now.
to the other podcast. Anyone who's listening
I'm
to this.
just, yeah.
I don't want to recap my previous work.
I'm just saying that still annoys me.
Yeah, I think we started off with me taking this pretty seriously, and then I just wanted to do something
Yeah, like
funny
I think
to annoy
I've done
you.
pretty serious bands most of the time.
I mean, I'm not recounting this. We're not spending time recounting this.
Yeah.
Next week we're doing I'm doing a few rock bands with guitarist.
I was gonna say Lou's on next week.
Yeah,
isn't he?
So or the week after. So we'll do something serious then. I think. Oh, I know. I don't want to spoil anything. I keep it a surprise.
God, you're ruining it.
I know. I want people to.
You spoil everything.
I want people to feel the build up to the release.
Oh God. Yeah.
The
Okay,
hype.
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Hype as hell.
Shit.
But yeah, that's Spinal Tap. What a film.
What? Yeah.
What a band.
I hate it when you say what a film.
It
You
was
can say
a
what a
film.
film when you've seen it.
I've seen every bit of it in bloody clips.
I'm gonna tweet out
Between you
when
and
you've
Guy.
finally seen this.
Yeah, it's gonna. The world needs to know that I've finally seen
Spinal Tap.
I've seen Spinal Tap as a unit, not just in 5-minute clips over 6 months, because that's what's happened.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have told you a lot of it. To be
I was
fair.
gonna say I don't think there's any part of it that's gonna be new to me.
We were in the recording studio this week.
Oh, well, yeah, how's that
Yeah,
going?
that
I
was
saw that update.
Yeah.
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 We'll talk about more then, but just as a
Yeah,
side
sure.
note, our producer fucking loves Spinal Tap as well, so we were just watching and bonding over Spinal
Oh,
Tap.
lovely, lovely. That's a nice bond, though.
Yeah,
I've got that
it was-
now, yeah.
Good times.
It was a real enjoyable experience.
But yeah, that's Spinal Tap. George, do you want to take it away with your
Yeah,
topic?
sure. I hope both of you guys have heard of this guy.
Okay.
He's honestly one of my favourite artists. I don't know, I don't want to fanboy too much, sound a bit too desperate and stuff, but he is generally like one of my favourite artists of all time. He's good looking, he's ridiculously talented on a variety of instruments, a fantastic songwriter, ridiculously talented at other things like, I think his dad did stand-up comedy a couple of times.
This is gonna be really awkward if
Friends
we
with
don't
Dave
know.
Chappelle. He's massive in America, not as big over here in the UK.
You're pretty
so.
good with American stuff, so
That's
maybe
true.
we will know. This
Yeah.
might be really awkward.
Multi-Grammy winner, John Mayer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure many of you have heard of John Mayer. It's honestly just a fantastic artist all around. I guess starting,
You know what we
originally.
should do before you get started? We should listen to one of his
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, okay.
You
that
got a
sounds
song
good.
in mind?
I have, yeah.
You got
Was it- yeah.
dance.
What
This
is it?
song is "Slow Dancing in a Burning Room" by John Mayer.
Here we're slow dancing in a burning room.
Right, we're back after listening to Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer.
Did you enjoy that? Was the general
Yeah, it was
concept?
laid back,
Makes sense,
actually.
Take it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like experiencing new music on the show. I mean, I actually have heard that song before, so it's not new for me, but I haven't heard it a lot. John Mayer's one of those artists who I overlook quite a lot
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
there are
don't
so
think about
many.
him.
There are so many artists and limited time in my day.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always thought he's very talented. Is it disputed at this point that he's talented?
Sorry?
Is
I was
it
gonna say,
disputable
I've
at this point?
I've never heard it
Like he's-
being disputed in that way.
Yeah, everyone knows that John Mayer's a talented guy,
Like I've
right?
heard of him, never
Oh,
in
it's-
a negative way.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a quite a big controversy around 2010. He when he got the ego basically got to him. He was a good looking guy. I mean, he was doing so well musically. He was selling millions of records, like it was multi-platinum records all the time, Grammys for
hell.
multiple singles, and he was like 29.
Yeah,
30,
that
you know what I
changes
mean?
you a little bit. doesn't it?
Yeah,
I can imagine.
he had a string of very famous girlfriends, most notably Jessica Simpson, Taylor Swift, quite a few others, can't name off the top of my head, Katy Perry a bit later as well.
Oh yeah.
And he had a very notorious Playboy interview in which I think he described Jessica Simpson as sexual napalm, was talking about his addiction to pornography, a variety of other pretty things that he probably wouldn't want his parents to hear. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. So he went into hiding a little bit after that. He kind of just went off the map because I think he messed up a little bit.
Yeah,
really.
take a time out, reflect.
So and then he's come back and given us 3 more albums after that. So,
Nice.
So he's still making music. But yeah, do you want me to just? I mean, I can start by how he began. How
Yeah,
he
go
start.
from
Yeah,
the
sure.
beginning, man.
So he was born in Connecticut originally. I think he was born to a pretty middle class family to two teachers. And he originally, I think have you seen obviously the Back to the Future films?
Yeah.
Remember the scene with Johnny B. Good when he was like, he saw that, and I think that was kind of like almost the point at which he realised that the nerds can kind of get their own back and blow people away with their guitar skills, which is exactly what happens in the film. So that really turned him onto it, and then he started listening to the likes of Stevie Ray Vaughan mainly, Jimi Hendrix,
Awesome.
B.B. King,
Yeah,
a load
just
of
laid
blues
back
heroes,
guitars, yeah.
heroes basically. So he'd be practicing every day in his room and stuff, and just got ridiculously good at guitar. And so much so that he got a scholarship to Berklee Music to just study guitar. So yeah, that happened. He did drop out though after one semester, after realising he wanted to pursue his own goals really, and pursue his own. He didn't really just want to study purely guitar based when he realised that so many bloody people are doing it, aren't they?
Yeah.
And how can you set yourself apart with just playing guitar? I mean, I know so many amazing guitarists.
It's true. There are a billion guitarists. My guitar teacher once told me to keep sticking with my piano and my singing because he was like, no one will care if you're just a guitarist.
It sucks. Sucks because they're abundantly potentially more talented. Like so many. I know. There was a jazz guitarist in my school that was always good. He trained classically originally, so he's always going to be better than me. His technique was absolutely flawless. But I guess he was never really that into songwriting, so I'm not too sure what he's doing now. To be fair, actually, I haven't spoken to him in a while. So yeah, he pursued his own goals after that. He dropped out of Berklee College after one semester, and then he started writing the music for his first album, which is called Room for Squares, and that was predominantly just very acoustic guitar driven. It wasn't that like bluesy or anything, not like what I was talking about, what he previously listened to. So it was just mainly like acoustic guitar songs, quite very poppy, very kind of middle of the road, kind of like not edgy at all. But they also, it was quite funny because you listen to me and think, oh, that sounds like something you can just like roll off on an open mic night, quite simple guitar parts. Yeah. He always manages to throw in some ridiculous chords there, like which made things absolutely impossible to play. Like it was like, for God's sake, you can't just make a simple song. So he still showed that he has ridiculous guitar skills, just in a much more subtle way than most of the guitarists.
It's nice that he doesn't feel like he has to be in your face with technique and
exactly.
It's
true. It's true. But like, if you break down the songs, you realise technically they are ridiculously demanding. Still, they just don't sound as flashy.
It doesn't have to be in your face, does it?
Exactly. And I think he went on to win. I think that album went multi-platinum. So that was his first album, 2001. He won a Grammy for the song "Your Body Is a Wonderland," which is I really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, that name rings a bell. Am I?
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll pause so you can hear it.
Your body is a wonderland. Your body is a wonderland.
I just realised I'm going to have to edit in a little bit of that. It's a nice treat for me later. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is very laid back. It's not normally what I listen to be honest, but like, it's obviously like quite well written and it's done its job. It's really big. Like, I knew the name even if I hadn't heard the song.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
get the idea.
I question the logic behind something being popular and therefore being good, but
but I'm saying it's done its job.
Yeah, sure. I like most of John Mayer. I don't really like Your Body Is a Wonderland. I feel like it's very early days for him. I think he gets good later on. I mean, George was talking about his voice changing, and it's true. I think it gets better.
Yeah, it is true. I do think he's got some absolute bangers on the first album.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. I think definitely that was the album, the most out of John Mayer, that took me a while to kind of get into. I had to listen to it a couple more times before I really got into it. But I don't know. I think I listened to the first album when I started university, and a lot of his songs are kind of about moving on, like changing, starting new, like because obviously his whole music career, like going off on your own, finding your own path and stuff. It's very philosophical, and maybe a little bit pretentious, but like, I do find it.
Well, if you're gonna write about that stuff, write about it in a pretentious way, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Commit to it.
Yeah. Exactly, and I don't know, it kind of almost like an accompaniment with me when I started freshers in first year, because I was moving away from home. It was a little bit scary, a bit daunting.
That's fair.
Yeah, if you relate to it, that's what you want, really, isn't it?
Unfortunately,
and my equivalent is the fourth season of Buffy, where she goes to university. It's pretty. I didn't really get that season until university, and I was like, fucking hell, man, this is horrible. Uni's hard.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I'm sad now.
Like I every time I go home, the house feels really small, and my parents have like moved a lot of shit into my room. So
like, what the hell, guys?
Yeah. It's just like just trying to find your own way and realizing what you want to do. You want to succeed, obviously. Whether what you're doing is the right thing. It's I don't know, and I find music really helps with that sometimes.
Totally.
You can really relate to it. I think it seems to have paid off for John Mayer anyway.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, George, but in first year, I had my acoustic guitar with me. I was like, you do the thing to impress people. You're like, oh, I can play guitar at the same time.
Yeah.
Matt's priority for his first year?
Yep.
Impressing random uni girls.
We're not random. They had names.
Do you remember any of them?
Frankie, Beth.
Shout outs.
That's it. That's all I remember. Those are my flatmates as well, which is pretty dire.
Oh, man.
Hi guys. One of them still likes me.
Ooh.
The other one, not so much.
Get them on. Get them on.
Yeah, I can't think of anything worse. No offense, Beth. You just would hate this. She definitely doesn't listen.
Okay.
But yeah,
This is sad now.
I think the popular image of the acoustic guy with the guitar, John Mayer helped make that huge, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and I think he helped make a lot of people who are bad at both singing and guitar try their hand at it.
Oh,
Yeah, most
he
people
sets the
have,
standard. He sets the bar.
It's a high bar, and I feel like people just don't. People think that it's easy.
Oh, it's not.
It's actually pretty difficult. I mean, obviously, running a band, as you know, it is also incredibly taxing.
Yeah, it's a variety of factors come into play, especially like when you're the main driver behind it.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit, especially when you're trying to do a degree at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else I do, like I play football and stuff as well, so it's like trying to mix it up really.
Busy.
Yeah, it's busy. Because there's so many elements to it, isn't there? Like the social media side of it, there's the communication side of it, there's the band, the songwriting, there's the musicality side of it.
Yeah.
Until you've done it, you just don't know what you're going to need to do.
Exactly, and everyone else does a degree in the band as well. So you're worrying they're doing their own shit as well most of the time. So you got to tie them down. So.
I mean, do you do the lyrics for your band?
Yeah, I do. I do all the music pretty much. Yeah.
Really? Wait, do you write all the parts as well?
I mean, what I usually, like for example, we wrote a song a couple of days ago, and I had the lyrics. I had a good idea about how the whole song was going to be structured. I had a good idea about what the drum beat was going to be. So I'm very bad at articulating that to my drummer. I'm like,
oh, we've never had that problem, have we, Matt?
No.
We've never had that as come up as an issue.
No.
But he's very patient, my drummer, and he does understand, and he usually gets a good gist about what I want, and he usually gets across. I mean, if I was the other way around, I think I'd throw a cymbal at me. So. But no, he's really good. So.
What's it like to have a patient drummer who listens to you?
Oh no, our drummer's fantastic. He's such a chilled out guy. Yeah, I don't know, it's great.
Yeah.
Great chemistry.
I similarly. What do I do for the band? I do the lyrics and then lay down like the bass structure and tune, and then I let these guys take it because when I try and write guitar, it just ends up.
Yeah, that's normally there's we've kind of got a structure now. It's nice, isn't it? Because you write the sort of basic parts, and then you give it to Lou.
Well, I give it to you to check first.
Yeah, then you give it to Lou to write some riffs, and then we all get together and kind of build it.
Sounds very efficient. It's a nice way of doing it.
Yeah, you'd think so. You'd think we'd have more than 2 songs that I like.
Oh no, that's just the way. You got to keep the process going. Keep those gears turning. Keep the. You'll get better and better at it, won't you? It's how it works.
Yeah,
it's like a muscle.
Say,
we hope so.
We just discard all the songs we don't like is the problem.
Yeah, you and I discard a lot of them.
Yes, we do, and we're just.
We're better for it. We're
yeah.
perfectionists.
But less content, but it's higher quality
Yeah.
compared to some of the stuff we have produced.
Yeah.
We are massively off topic. Do you have any other?
Yeah, I've got quite a lot more to talk about. After Room for Squares, I'll be a massive success. Body is a Wonderland, getting a Grammy and stuff for best pop single.
Yeah, that's insane.
He moved on to his second album, which is called Heavier Things, and that implemented a lot more electric guitar. Again,
it's quite literal, this man, isn't he?
I appreciate it. We like that.
Yeah.
When we release the name for our EP, you'll see why.
Oh God.
Ooh, what is it?
We'll tell you off mic.
It's silly, yeah.
So like a lot more electric guitar, and once again, I mean, so he showed that he had some guitar skills, implemented a couple more solo. I'm using implemented a lot, aren't I?
Yeah, you used to.
Excellent
You
word.
notice how weird you speak when you are on this podcast. Like I have to listen back to myself and be like, "Shut up,
Yeah.
shut up, Matt. God damn it."
So yeah, like I had a couple of solos in it, and then one of his the biggest single, Daughters, which he didn't think should have been a single, which is quite an acoustic poppy song again.
I like Daughters.
That got a Grammy, I think, as well. So
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and then I think after Daughters, he was like, because that song is so well, he was getting kind of a bit stuck with how he thought he should have been. He doesn't like being thought of as that guy who plays an acoustic guitar and poppy.
It doesn't like being thought of as the American Ed Sheeran, as you put it.
Yeah. I don't think Ed Sheeran was around at that time, but it definitely didn't like feeling like being a part of that, because he's a guitarist and his main passion was guitar. So he decided to start this thing called the John Mayer Trio, which involved Pino Palladino, who's played multiple massive bands, and Steve Jordan, who's a producer and an amazing drummer. And they did a little tour with the John Mayer Trio, and that was him just shredding a guitar. Usually, that was primarily just him, the bass and the drums, just going for it and playing a lot of blues covers. But then, like he wrote a couple of blues songs, like "Who Do You Think I Was" and stuff, which is just lots of tube screamer and stuff, and all that fun guitar sound. So it's fantastic. So that's that. He did that after that, and then he came back from that tour, feeling a bit more refreshed and stuff, and started writing the songs for his most successful album to date, Continuum, which came out.
Yeah, I like that album a lot.
Oh, okay.
It's a good album.
It's my favourite album. It's like, it feels like first one he kind of drew them in, second one grabbed them, and then the third one he absolutely crushed them, because that album is absolutely sensational.
It's solid.
Yeah, it's still very chilled out as most of his music is, but yeah, so that featured things like Gravity and Waiting on the World to Change and Belief and Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. I feel like every song on that has a special place in my heart, really, to be fair. That album back to front, it's just a great album.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, love it, every part. But sorry, if you can't tell, I quite like John Mayer.
No, it's good. You know, what do we talk about all the time? We talk about stuff we hate a lot, so that's...
Oh, really?
It's nice to have someone talking about something they love.
You just like to talk about stupid things. You like to try and sign us up for Dance in the Bloody Ice Cream Freeze.
I do want that video to get 100 views so we can dance the ice cream freeze.
Define the ice cream freeze.
Like, so Hannah Montana has a song called The Ice Cream Freeze. She does a dance.
I like it.
But yeah, spread that video around, because I want to make Leia do that. We've got to film it and put it on YouTube.
I love how you'd rather drag me down than have, like, you're not worried about going down yourself. It's the both of us have to go down. That's
it's funnier that way. The two, what did we get called recently? In a rude comment, we got called the spokespeople for the band, the unwarranted spokespeople for the band. Yeah.
The unwarranted.
Yeah.
Is that what you have to say at the start?
That's why I put the disclaimer there, to make sure we don't speak for everyone. Regardless, everyone watch that video so we can get the ice cream freeze. I don't care if you have to leave it on play all day. I want to make Leia do that.
Refresh.
I'm gonna end up singing it again now. It's already stuck in my head.
Back on.
George, take us away so we can think about something else.
Okay. Right, so and after releasing Continuum, he released his very notoriously famous live album, Where the Light Is, which is an assortment of all of his songs, basically, from the past 3 albums, playing live, and it's just fantastic. There was a couple of covers in there. I think he covered Jimi Hendrix twice. It's funny, he opened for himself, and then he was the main support from himself, and then his band was the support. That was the main thing. So it was like opened on John Mayer acoustic, then it had a John Mayer trio as the little thing in between, and then it had the main John Mayer band. So like,
he loves himself.
He didn't need any support bands. No thanks, mate. I can do all of it. Cheers.
Like, I can't imagine anything worse than that. Like, fair play to him for having fucking stamina.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you say that we should be called Matt and the Mats at some point?
It should be Matt and the Wild Abyss.
When it gets to that level of confidence and at least you can nail anything.
Skill as well. Like, you, as a singer, you know how hard it is to keep going for like hours at a time.
Yeah.
Like, in recording the other day, it was like, 3 hours straight, and I was fucking exhausted.
Yeah. Mad.
So yeah, respect to him for actually doing it. If I do think that's a little douchey that you did.
It's borderline douchey, but like, if you can, I don't know.
If you can pull it off.
Like he did.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I appreciate the sense of humor. There's probably was an element of him knowing that it's a little bit like...
I think he did stay on stage. I don't know whether it's in the actual final cut of the CD, but there was a live clip of him saying during the performance, saying like, I met myself backstage, I'm a pretty cool guy, like stuff like that. Kind of just taking the piss a little bit.
He knows. He's in on it.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, if anyone gets a chance, you should watch the entire performance, because it's got a few clips of him at the start. On the very beginning, it has an opening of him like improvising on this Gibson L5, which is a beautiful like jazz guitar, and he's like on the Hollywood Hills on Mulholland Drive, and it's like overlooking. You got Hollywood sign in the background, got the freeway or the highway, or whatever in the background. Just him with a leather jacket, just doing some amazing jazz chords and stuff.
Nice.
So.
I mean, fair play to America. Like, you've got fucking scenery, don't you? Like, we live in Nottingham. Like, finding somewhere to take pictures is just dire.
Go a bit further down south. Where I'm from is Northampton. The countryside's so much prettier.
Yeah,
it's just so much more hilly. And
stuff. Like, we could.
We'll handle it when we go, because we're going to play that Welsh festival. All you've got to, like, you leave a building and there's trees. Like,
well, like where I'm from, like a beautiful village, but I don't think I can get anyone back into Derby. Our guitarist didn't enjoy his trip into Derby before.
His singular trip into Derby.
Yeah, bless him. We played a gig at the Hairy Dog in Derby. Great pub, by the way. I enjoyed my time there. Guitarist didn't agree.
Well, I think he didn't agree because you had to walk to my house in the rain.
It was
to
pouring
pick up my
rain.
Because I live in Derby.
It was Leia's first gig with us, so we didn't know her super well.
Yeah, it was a really weird experience. Yeah.
You know, we were helping her out so much because she's so ungrateful.
I know. It was such a big favour to me for you to let me learn so many of your songs 4 days before you wanted me to play on stage.
Those are good vibes, guys.
It was so intense. That was an intensely bad gig. We were dire.
It was hilarious.
Everyone has one of those.
I was ill. The lead guitarist at the time was ill. Leia had just
Like, I think I'd been in the band maybe a week. And they wanted to play, like, 3 originals, and I was like, friends, why?
We started Holiday by Green Day, and backing singer completely off key, bless him. I was like, bless it. That's just the worst thing to happen for the first thing. I mean,
to be fair, the real upside was there were maybe 4 people there watching us.
That's true, yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, I've had a couple of experiences. Well, you know that one for the Fox, my amp just broke.
Oh, yeah.
Songs. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, my distortion just went. So I had no guitar. I was like, oh shit, it's going to be like this for the rest of the gig.
Like, we'll just strum and hope people think you are playing.
It was horrible because I knew it was fucking happening. I was like, oh, just put me in this shit mood. But luckily, I fiddled around the amp and it was all sorted. But I've had a terrible gig at the Maze one time. I don't know if I've already told you about it. Our drummer pulled out a week before.
Oh, shit.
Because he wanted to go to a boat party instead. Because he's like, his logic was, he's been to this isn't the same drummer, by the way. It's another guy.
Okay.
Sure.
His logic was, he hasn't been to a boat party before, but he's done a gig. So, you know, that's worth pulling out a week before, definitely.
Commitments.
Oh, no, we weren't happy. Not happy.
No,
How hard would you, like, beat me up for doing that? You'd, like, come to my house with a...
If you gave me a week, I wouldn't be very happy. You give me 2 weeks, I can definitely find a replacement.
Yeah.
It would be a rough gig, but we'd find a replacement.
Yeah.
A week is just not enough time.
So we found a replacement, but like 2-hour rehearsal. It's just loads of things. Like your arm's guitar was disgustingly out of tune.
No.
I had a blood blister on my fucking thumb and it burst and went all over my guitar.
But that, I'm just saying,
rock and roll.
That looks hardcore.
It's a shame we sounded like shit. So
the blood doesn't really fit your songs as well, does it?
No, like it's cool, but it's like this is a little bit out of place.
You don't really have your Marilyn Manson moment in that in your set list.
No, we're a lot more sensitive.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the end of Get By, when I had that little part where I just kind of play it on my own.
Yeah, it sounds good.
He thought the end of the little instrumental part was the end of the song, so he just like smashed the cymbal like so hard at the end. Right,
and then you're just jazzing
I'm
out.
Now I'm going. So,
like we're committing to it apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too real.
Oh well, god damn, give me shivers thinking about it. But it's all over now. Onward and upwards, you know. So
yeah, fair play.
And where were we John Mayer? Well, we just talked about continuing the live.
We talked about the live album.
Live album, okay, yeah. Then he followed it with another album called Battle Studies, of course, kind of maybe a bit more adult contemporary. I mean, I've got again some great songs, not as good as Continuum. And around that time, it was the incident with the Playboy interview and stuff, and him saying some rather explicit things about his past girlfriend. So he kind of went off the map. I think he bought a ranch in Montana, which is like, and he kind of hid out there for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's the correct way to handle it, isn't it? Run away.
Everyone
will forget.
Yeah, can just disappear off into the American countryside.
Yeah.
Hey man, if you can,
no one will care. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Oh, I wish not everyone can do that when they break up, unfortunately. Not everyone's got the access to a album and the millions of dollars he owns and stuff like that. So, yeah, so he came back and he underwent some throat surgery, I think, right before he released his next album because I think he had like I can't remember exactly what it's called. He had something growing on his vocal cords.
Vocal nodes.
Potentially, yeah. And he had to get it injected with Botox.
Oh, shit.
And then so it paralysed it so then it could like go back down again. So, but then he released
that sounds unpleasant.
Yeah. It was. I think it was unpleasant, but he's back to full strength now. I think it might have been his technique, the way he was singing might have been a bit off. But,
yeah, it usually is.
I'm not too sure. But then Born and Raised was the next album he did, and that was the worst selling album I think he's ever released. Unfortunately, I think he just got back. He wasn't like really that higher priority in terms of people to listen to it. So kind of a lot of songs about like kind of redemption, kind of like being a changed man and stuff. Some hits you right in the feels, and then Born and Raised, because everyone messes up and makes mistakes and stuff. And he could express that through the songs that he wrote and stuff. So.
It's a major issue that, though, isn't it? Is when you're in a band or in any in the whole industry, really, is if you drop off the face, like at any point, everyone forgets about you. Yeah. No one cares.
Yeah, music moves too quickly.
Yeah,
like you gotta stay relevant, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think he was at that point though where he just cared about. I think there's literally a clip of him crying on stage. He realised he's fucked up so bad. He's playing Gravity, and he's just like saying, "I'm just gonna play my guitar," and like that's exactly what I set out to do in the first place. Stop trying to be all these people that I aspired to be when all he needs to be is the guitarist and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Born and Raised, quite a few songs such as the one Born and Raised, the title track of Born and Raised is literally just him talking about like kind of like making a new name for himself and saying. Like how he's had his bad days and stuff, and how it's all. I mean, yeah, it's emotional lyrics and really good, really nice song. I really enjoy listening to it. So yeah, and then he's followed up with a couple of albums since then. He's sticking kind of with him more, because Born and Raised was slightly, he wore a cowboy hat and stuff, and he got some, so he kind of, I don't know, he had like a certain look for that album, and he seemed to kind of follow that into the next album called Paradise Valley, which is again like quite kind of a lot more country-esque, got a lot of Bob Dylan influences.
Cool.
There's a couple of absolute fantastic songs in there. I've really gotten into a couple of them at the moment. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names, even though I've listened to them so many times. There's quite a few underrated songs on that album, definitely. I think Frank Ocean, there's a song on that album actually with him as well.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, that did a lot better. And then his most recent album, The Search for Everything, which came out 2 years ago, which I did see him on tour for.
Nice.
And kind of got a couple more blues elements in there again. I mean, not as good as his previous albums still, but still got some fantastic songs. They've really grown on me. So
Win.
Sorry?
Win.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So
It's that accent again playing up,
Oh,
innit?
God.
Can't understand
Right.
what you're saying.
when?
Sorry, I just don't sound sice. Sice as fuck, to be honest.
What?
Sice is like a Welsh word for English people. That's like,
Really?
because sice is just short for the literal word for English,
Oh, okay.
but it's normally used in a negative way.
A derogatory
I'd imagine
manner.
so. Wow, that sounded so posh. I'd imagine so.
I would also imagine so. Nice stuff, man. Great report.
Cheers, thank you. Yeah, I released a new single, New Light. If you watch the video, it is full of memes and it's lovely.
Yes.
He went to it was a bar mitzvah. People who, for his video, he went to a place which usually like bar mitzvah videos, and he just had a green screen.
I've seen it. It's really funny.
Yeah, it is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, he just decided to not spend the money, on a music video and just
Fair
do
enough,
it like
fair enough.
on a dime. And it's really good.
It's a bit of a tune as well. New Light's
he clearly doesn't take himself too seriously. It's
Yeah.
funny, so I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But anyway, shall we bring it home with our question for the
a little
day?
Question.
We've got a little, it's like multifaceted question today.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of elements to
because
it, isn't it?
we've just come out of recording, so we thought we'd ask you, George, how was your recording experience? Like, how long did you record for? Are there any things you do differently?
I mean, we're quite limited on the budget. That's the main key overall factor for this. I mean,
Young band problems.
Broke AF, like. So we went into the recording. My first ever recording experience was actually only last summer. So that was for the EP, and we were given,
which is called
Don't We Make It So.
Plug.
So you can find that on our SoundCloud, Medici.
It's really good, guys. I actually listened to it. Like,
yeah, we listened to it the other morning, didn't we? Actually, on the way to recording, we were like, let's look at what other local bands have produced.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that I don't listen to John Mayer regularly, but I do like put on Medici once a week or something.
Yeah, that means a lot. I think you're the first person to ever say that.
I told Leia the other day I love Get By. It's legit a great song.
I'm glad you really like it. So yeah, Don't We Make It So. So we recorded that at Stalker Studios in Northampton. Basically, we was given, I think it was 140 quid for the day. And we managed to throw in 3 songs, record them, get them all done. We didn't have many times to do retakes, fly through them. And we should have probably just released them as demos. We shouldn't have probably released them as the final cut, because they definitely could have been more perfect. So in a sense, we could have definitely repeated stuff. But yeah, I mean, I went in, I did a very basic guitar track with vocals to a click beat, and everyone filled in their parts over the top of that, and then I finished off with my guitar parts and my lead vocals.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was more time was our enemy, so we just absolutely had to bang it out. And there are quite a few things, if you have a decent musical ear, you can definitely tell there are some things that are not perfect with our EP. There was a couple of things wrong with the timing, or it's not perfect, but I think it did the job in terms of getting our sound out there. So
yeah,
I mean, you've had gigs, right? We see you guys getting gigs. So
the priority is probably the same as ours was, which is more that we don't. It's not even really about releasing it as an EP as much as it is using it to apply to venues.
There we go. That's
competitions
exactly.
and things.
Just having a recording of yourself, so you can show people actually what you sound.
Exactly.
Like.
People ask, what your influence and stuff. It's like, no, just listen to this.
Like it'll be easier, trust me.
Yeah. So that's been our experience so far. Really, again, I haven't had nearly as much as a lot of people. Really, I wish I did, and I guess I wish I had more time in the studio to really perfect it, because I am a perfectionist. I want everything to be absolutely perfect. But then, luckily, our bassist of last year, he was a good mixer, so he mixed it for us. And then our drummer of last year had a mate who can master it, so he mastered it for us. And we're really happy with it, how it turned out, considering we had about a day to record the whole thing.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's we've taken 3.5 days to do 3 tracks.
Yeah, and one of them's a cover.
Yeah, we took some serious
time
on it.
Through the cover, it was the quickest vocals I've ever done. Whereas the originals, we took like a lot of time to get them.
Real time to get on it.
Because of practice, we knew the songs so well. Like,
Yeah.
we've done them so many times before. So yeah, and we're going into the studio again. I think in July again to do 3 songs.
Get on
in.
it.
Cool, man.
3 songs in a day. So we'll crack that out. Yeah, I wrote the late. We were thinking of a 3rd song. We haven't quite finished that yet, but now we've written that fully now. So I need to do a couple of changes to the vocal parts, and that's all done. I'm pretty
Getting excited then, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm really happy with these ones. So
I look forward to that, man. Do you have a producer yet?
We do not. No.
All right, well, we can plug ours because he's really great, and you'll hear our EP in a week or so, or 2 weeks.
We're not 100% sure when it's going to come out yet, but either way we're getting excited.
Yeah, no, it should be. It's great.
But he's really, really, really good guy. Guy Eldritch.
Yeah, he contacts me loads. You know, he sends me a lot of messages.
He's really good.
He's amazing.
I'm sure he is. I don't think we can afford. We're not.
That's fair. That's legit.
That's literally the only reason. Like, I'm sure we'd be very happy to use him. It's just.
But even if you can get really something done, just spend a day with him. Yeah, it's really good.
Did he go out? I think he messaged us. Did he message you? Is that how you got in touch with him?
Yeah, totally. He messaged the band page, didn't he?
I think I responded to an ad he put out first, and then he messaged the band page.
Mm-hmm.
We were in touch for a while before we actually got in touch, because we went to see other studios and stuff, and he was just by far and away the best experience on the whole, let alone the quality, you know.
And the way he records stuff, we felt like a little family by the end.
It was a really, really good experience.
We were breaking in a new bassist recently, and just like by the end of the process, I just love
we're just so
working
tight
with
at this
him.
point. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's completely stress free.
It's so funny,
and he's really easy to work with. Like, he'll listen to you, but also he'll be like, some things you need to do a bit differently.
Yeah, he's not just there to do exactly what you want him to do. He's there to help you make it the best it can be.
Yeah, that sounds good. The person who recorded my bands, he was in a band that I fanboyed over loads when I was like back at sixth form. A band called Presley Johnson, who are like a really, really good like kind of like folk pop like rocky band, but they have some live. The vocal harmonies are absolutely sensational, like 3-part harmonies and stuff, and they're really, really good. So I was really happy, really excited to work with him. He's just the most chilled out guy. Doesn't seem to care though. So I'm like, I really like your band. Like, your songs are fantastic. What are they about and stuff? He's like, I don't know. Just write them, know me.
Nice. All right. Well, should we call it a week, guys?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to George for coming on. It's been great.
No problem. I really enjoyed it, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
We'll have to get you on again if you want to. That is.
Of course.
Over the summer or the end of the summer, whenever you're free. How do I sign off at the end of an episode?
Tell all
usually?
The socials.
Oh shit! I tell all the socials. I always forget to do this.
We've got 4 bajillion.
Right, we'll let George go first.
Okay, so I'm part of the band Medici. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Medici Band.
Medici spelt
Medici, not Medici, Medici.
Yeah, I always read it as Medici every single time.
See, I'm aware of the Renaissance, so I read it as Medici.
Thank you.
Oh, in math posh, look at all that. Shut up.
Classical education for you there.
So we're on SoundCloud. We're soon to be on Spotify. Watch our space and our Facebook page in order to determine when that's actually going to be. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
No worries, man. Go see them live. They're really great.
We'll probably be playing with them again.
No doubt.
No doubt. We, on the other hand, are at Wild Abyss Band on Twitter and Instagram. Wild Abyss on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel or don't. I'd rather you did.
We also have a MySpace and a Pinterest, which I'm going to plug every time because Matt hates it every single time.
Well, no, I like you plugging the MySpace. It's the Pinterest I can't stand.
Pinterest.
Yeah, I made a Pinterest one because my friend's mother wanted to keep an eye on our band, but she doesn't know how to use Facebook, so I said I'd make a Pinterest account just for her.
Right, I'm going to cut you off there before we talk about Pinterest for 20 minutes. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Have a good one.
See ya.